All right, and we're live. Welcome, everybody. This is our 6 p.m. performance seminar for Monday, the 25th of November, with two pianists this evening. So I would like to welcome Miss Amala to perform for us. So Amala, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and what you're playing today?
I'm Amala and I'm gonna play La Candula.
Well done, Miss Amala. How was that performance for you?
Good.
Yeah? What are some of the things that you enjoyed about that and that you thought you did well?
The dynamics.
Dynamics? Good. Excellent. Anything else that you thought you did reasonably well?
Eighth notes.
Eighth notes? Yeah, what about the eighth notes?
I played them fast.
You played them what, sorry?
Fast?
Fast, yeah. Do you need to play this piece fast?
Yeah.
So that's interesting as well, right? When you sit down, when you determining the tempo for a piece of music, there's a reason why it needs to be played fast or a reason why it needs to be played slow. So if you think about the mood of this piece, how would you describe the mood? Or the character of the piece? Do any words come to mind? What do you think, Alison? What does this piece remind you of when you hear this? What kind of mood is it trying to create? Is it a fast mood?
Not necessarily. I think
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's hopeful.
Yeah, that's kind of right, especially starting and then reaching out for. All right. Also, does this person Amala sound like that they're in a rush, or are they taking their time thinking?
In a rush.
They sound like they're in a rush. That's interesting. All right. So, the way that you played it, did it sound like a person that's in a rush, or did you play it in a way that sounds like a person is taking their time and thinking?
They're in a rush.
It'd be interesting for you to listen to this back, because I think you'll find, at least when I heard it, who you playing it, this person sounded like they were going for a walk, taking their time and thinking. Yeah, because to me, in a rush is someone that sounds like this, right? Sounds a little bit like chaotic. It's like, gotta go, I'm late for school. But this is you sitting and waking up in the morning, be like, it's Sunday, I don't need to go to school, right? Maybe. So you can play around with that. You can play around with that idea. Another thing that you can think about as well is how you shape the music. You notice that there's a massive curved line from here all the way to the end. that means we want to play this part very smooth. But at the same time, you want to direct where the music is headed with dynamics. And you notice here that there's this decrescendo. That means that this note here has to be a little bit louder than the rest of them. So it starts quiet, and then you can build it up. And then when it goes down, you can get quieter. When it goes up, you can get a little bit louder. So you could play around with these, right? It just makes the music a little bit more interesting and gives it some direction, right? Alison, what would you suggest for Amala, some things that she can consider to continue improving her playing? Did anything come to mind?
I guess maybe transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, like, you pause a little bit, probably to find the hand position. So, like, working on those would help.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good idea. So Amala, are you aware that there are some parts where you pause just a little bit before moving?
Yeah.
Yeah? So just work on some of those sections there. Make sure you know where the hand has to go ahead of time. Yeah? So you're always just looking ahead. That's what Alison is suggesting with transitions. My next thing that you could play around with is hand shape. So when you play these here, da, 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 instead of keeping the hand still, what you could do is, you see what I'm doing with my hand? It actually makes it sound smoother and more connected, right? Rather than just keeping the hand very still. I think there are times where you're curving the hand a little bit. What's it called? You're twisting the wrist. But try do that a little bit more often and see what kind of sound you're able to create with the eighth notes, okay? All right, cool. Keep it up. One last thing, just make sure that this is only played once. Oh, it's only played twice. And then once more. Are you aware that you played it 3 times? Yeah. So just make sure you play it twice, okay? Great. Okay, let's continue. Thanks for that, Amala. All right, Miss Alison, go ahead and introduce yourself and what you're playing today. Composer.
Okay. I'm Alison. I'm going to be playing Nocturne by John Callahan.
Bravo, Alison. I've been playing there. How long have you been working on this piece?
Um, Probably like a few weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So what are your thoughts initially? You've got this title Nocturne, so it doesn't really give much away,
Yeah.
right? Which is quite good because then it leaves it up to us as artists to interpret it the way that we wish. Have you had time to come up with some kind of idea of the kind of moods or character
Yeah,
that
like
we've been out of this piece? What are your thoughts?
I have like different sections. Like the first part is just like it's like a dialogue and it changes colors a couple of times. Like measure 13, it sounds like a little more like sad, and then 17 is more like hopeful, like an orangish color.
Yeah, when the C sharp is introduced, right? It's a little bit more uplifting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I think the reason I asked this is so that when you've mapped out even clearer some of the emotions, right, that run through the piece, I think you can actually bring them out even more. Like really let them sink. So this is a good first draft, right? But even from that opening, it does seem like it's searching for something, especially with this lilting. This is something else that gives me the feeling that we're searching for something. Right, to this chord 4 here. And this major second. So listen out to some of these harmonic clues. And just think to yourself, oh, what do they mean? Right? They may mean nothing. Right? But it is interesting. He could have just repeated with that. Right? With the C sharp and the A, he could have done that twice. So keep an eye out for that as well, because the left hand is quite repetitive. But he does create variation with the harmony. Yeah?
Yeah.
There's a lot of these quintuplets. What do you think these mean? Is it more of a melody or just a decoration?
This is like decoration to lead you to the next note or like next
Yeah.
word.
Nice. So I think you can be even more free with them. I mean, listen back to this recording. Your best teacher will be yourself. Right? Listen back to how you play it and how you interpret it. You might really like what you're doing. I think it's okay, what you've got at the moment, but continue experimenting because there's a lot of them around the piece. So build up a bag of different interpretations for the quintuplets and the sextuplets. Right? Well done on this. This is not easy. This is an etude, right? What hand did you want to bring out? The left hand or the right hand?
Yeah.
Or is it both? Or what's your where you're at the moment with that?
I want to bring out the left hand more, but I know I played the right hand too loud.
Okay. Yeah. So just higher wrist. That's another thing that's going to help as well. All right, just raise your wrist just a little bit, and then think longer lines with the left hand. You can also almost imagine a cello playing this just with one bow stroke. Right? It's not separate bows. So I would practice just the left hand on its own as well, creating these nice long lines. As it gets more exciting, right, and it gets more involved with the hand, breathe through it.
Okay.
Right? Otherwise, the hand just tightens up, and then it gets too intense. We're like, pianissimo. Right? Bring it right down. I think as you settled into the piece, you started to feel more comfortable with the notation. But just be mindful of that. And then, yeah, this is very much like a butterfly, right? Butterfly just fluttering away. You can also use a lot of wrist motion, bouncing up and down, da dum da dum da dum da dum, for all this. All right. Watch, like I said, watch the video back again and observe how your hand maneuvers around this B section. You might find that you can do even more hand movement to get from one note to the next, or from a chord to a single note. All right. Just check that over. This was great. You're really good with these octaves. Da, da, da. If anything, you could broaden them out a little bit more. Anytime that I see someone write in octaves, I think, okay, this is a lot more majestic. So you just broaden them out a little bit. And he even writes rallentano there. Right? That's where the whole orchestra comes in. This was fine. Yeah. This is, you've got a good handle on the piece. Basically, these ideas I'm giving you are just other things to think about, you know, in terms of what you want to bring out and how you're going to bring it out. But I think you've already got a pretty clear idea of some of the emotions that run through the piece. Amala, what are your thoughts on this piece of music? Did it remind you of anything? What kind of story do you feel this piece is trying to tell?
Finding something.
Finding something, that's interesting. So here's the big question. Does this person ever find what they're looking for? Do you get the impression that they find it in the end? Or they are forever searching?
They don't find it.
What was that, sorry?
They don't find it.
They don't find it. Interesting. All right. So there you go. There's another interpretation, Alison. Leave us hanging, right? All right, cool. Well, Mr. John Callahan, thank you for your composition. This is our premiere from Oak Cliff. Thanks to Miss Ellison. Amala, thanks as well to you for playing Bergmuller. That is the end of our session. Do watch this video back, and then you guys can make your own notes based on what you guys heard of your playing and continue improving for next. All right. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys again soon, all right? Thanks, Amala. Thanks, Ellison. Cheers, John.